The Bruins have started their rebuild / retool with a top 10 pick in the 2025 NHL Draft. And you guys who've watched the show know I loved it. I think they nailed that pick. James Hagens available there at 7. To me, was a no-brainer. I'm stunned he fell that far. Okay, here was a guy who up until, really a month or two into this past season was the number one prospect in the draft. He was doing things for the U.S. national development team. He was like even on points with Patrick Kane. And he only has a point a game through 37 games in Hockey East for Boston College. And somehow he falls down to number 7. Somehow he falls behind Brady Martin. The Bruins nailed that pick, in my opinion. And most people agree. If you don't, let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you do love the James Hagens pick. We are fast on the track towards 4,000 subscribers. But a ton of the NHL media loved this pick. Steal of the first round. Bruins finally nailed it. They got their franchise center of the future. So much skill, so much upside. All these analysts loved the James Hagens pick. Well, all except for one. And if you follow in the Boston sports area, I'll give you 2 guesses as to who didn't like the pick, but you'll only need one. Felger and Mazz from Monday afternoon.
So this is without really predicting what he's going to be. I don't know what he's going to be. I hate the pick. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the local thing. I hate the...
Can't believe it. Mike Felger hates the pick. Why does he hate the pick?
I hate the pick. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. And you know why? What the first thing is, if you've listened to me over the years on the Bruins, a big frustration is it feels like. So I'm going to ask the audience to help me out today. I know it's a vacation week. I don't know if we have a full audience of nerds. But I need a research project because I actually started this. But the reason the local thing, of course, they took the local kid. I'm sick to death up to here with the local kids. 2 straight years, they're going to take a forward from BC. That's it?
Yes, they are. They are going to do that. They picked the kid who was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft when he fell into his lap at number 7. Crazy, I know. They keep picking these local kids. Long Island, man. It's like fucking 4.5 hours from Boston. How can you keep taking these local kids? Okay, so he's talking about the BC guys. And this is something that I didn't expect. I really didn't expect to see an outrage over the fact that he plays at BC, mainly because of the fact that Boston has 2 of the best college hockey programs of all time in their backyard. Why are we complaining about that? You picked the best player available at 7, but Felger doesn't want him because he plays his college hockey in Newton. What are we doing here? And Ty Anderson had a great response to this on Twitter because someone pointed out, come on, Ty, let's be real about this. And he picks out Andre Gasso, James Hagens, Oscar Jelvik, Connor Joyce, Ryan Leonard, Dean Letourneau. Ty Anderson said, yeah, let's be intellectual about this. Hagens could have played on the moon and he'd be the best player at 7. Gasso was on the NTDP when he was drafted. Jelvik was in Swedish Juniors. Letourneau was in Canadian Prep. Why are we acting like they're all from Revere? That's a great way to put it, man. Why are we doing that? Why do we just say, and Felger goes on to say, it's just all these Hockey East guys. They've, added 27 Hockey East guys in the last 10 years. Okay. Hockey East is the best conference in college hockey. Let's look at another Boston team, if I may. Let's look at another team that finished last place in their division last year in this city. One would be the Boston Bruins. The other would be the New England Patriots. Last year, on the 53-man roster, the Patriots had 24 players from the SEC. That is nearly half their roster, taken from the best conference in college football. Yet nobody was bitching about that. Nobody was saying, why do we keep picking these kids from Dixie? Why do we keep picking these Southerners who play in the SEC? Why do we keep picking kids from Alabama and LSU and Georgia? The Bruins, on the other hand, on their roster last year, had 2 guys, 2 from Hockey East. And they're 2 of your 3 highest paid players on the team. Jeremy Swayman from Maine and Charlie McAvoy, your best first-round pick of the last decade from Boston University. It's funny, I don't hear people bitching about him being picked out of BU. Why? Because it was a great pick in the middle of the first round. But Felger all of a sudden says, no, why do we keep having these guys from Hockey East? Oh, don't you have international scouts? Like, yeah, what a stupid fucking move by the Bruins to pick the best guy available at 7 and pick someone from the best conference in college hockey. And somehow, out of all this, Mazz, the little fucking puppet going along with everything, had the worst point in all of this by saying, oh, there's a reason. There's a reason, Mike. There's a reason that James Hagens dropped. I hate that. There's a reason that James Hagens dropped. Yeah, it's not because of his skill. He also said, Mazz said, that Hagens had a mediocre year at BC. Bad year. Again, a point-a-game player. When do we ever say that about a point-a-game player who was putting up video game numbers in the National Development Program the year before? Okay? Here was a kid who came in as a 17-year-old and the number one center on the number one team in the country going into this season, the Boston College Eagles. And he was a point a game, and now we've got people telling you that he sucks. He played on a line with 2 guys who were playing in the NHL at the end of the season, and yet deferring to them and their talent makes him a mediocre player. Turn off your fucking radios. This is insane, man. Are you kidding me? Half the season, he was 17 playing for BC and Hockey East against fucking 24-year-olds. And they have the balls to tell you he sucks? Just admit you don't watch it. You don't follow the sport. It's okay. It used to be this whole big debate in Boston. We need more of the sports talk radio talking about the Bruins and talking hockey. And then you get this shit. No, we don't, man. No, we don't. Listen to the Cam show. Listen to the Bruins beat writers. Listen to these other people who actually follow the sport. Mike Felger will tell you all day long he's a hockey fan and then go along and say, oh, I don't want James Hagens because he plays at BC. What does BC ever do? What does BC ever produce? What do these schools in Boston ever fucking produce? What an idiot, man. What a moron. And you know what else this tells me? This also tells me that Mike Felger discriminates. He discriminates based on where people went to college and where they're from. Mike Felger sits in his ivory tower in Nantucket all summer long, napkins on his bare feet, telling you that he doesn't like you because of where you went to college and that you're not good enough to play for a 15th place team. What a joke, man. What a fucking joke. He dropped because he didn't have the numbers that Will Smith did at BC. Will Smith playing on a second line with Cutter Gauthier centering the first line, whereas James Hagens comes in day one as a kid who should still be in high school, centering 2 NHL players on line number 1. We've completely lost our minds with how we're evaluating James Hagens here. It's really ridiculous. Never in the history of this sport have we chastised a point-a-game player quite like we do for James Hagens. Only 37 points in 37 games playing in Hockey East as a 17-year-old. It's absolutely crazy, man. It's so nuts. James Hagens is going to stay another year, which some fans aren't going to like, but it's going to be great for the Bruins. He's going to be a 60-point guy. He's going to be a Hobey Baker finalist. He's going to be right in that contention at BC. To my chagrin, by the way, because I'm a BU fan like Mike Felger, BC's going to be pretty good. And James Hagens is going to be a huge reason why. But again, we don't bitch about the Patriots having a bunch of guys from the SEC. We don't bitch about the Red Sox having all their players from the South, if not the Dominican Republic. We don't do that. Imagine that, though. Imagine bitching about the Dallas Cowboys picking guys who played football in Texas. Imagine bitching that the Tampa Bay Rays pick baseball players from South Florida. Imagine bitching that the Toronto Maple Leafs pick guys from Ontario. Oh, man, the Charlotte Hornets pick too many fucking guys from Duke. You moron. You fucking idiot. Yeah, because BC and BU, they really suck at developing NHL talent. Really suck at it. Unbelievable, man. Like, if the Bruins picked Macklin Celebrini last year with the number 10 pick, Felger would have bitched about it. Oh, another local guy from British Columbia. He would have done the same act. Like, does this not get exhausting for those of you who do watch every day? Because there's still a lot of you who watch and listen to Mike Felger and Tony Mazz every single day. Does this not get exhausting? Like, working on that show is a fucking death sentence, man. It's just the same shit every day. It's literally a meeting before, like, how can we bitch about this? And I understand, man. I understand sports talk radio is better when you're bitching about something versus when you're filleting something. I totally understand that. But, like, there's not one time you can think that one of these teams does something good ever? You don't think the fans should be happy about anything? Picking the guy who was the number one prospect in the draft going into this year at number 7? Like, most teams would be, like, most fan bases would be converting and going to church and thanking God that James Hagens fell to them at 7. And Mike Felger saying, why do they keep getting these guys? Why do they keep picking these guys from the best college hockey programs in the country? It's just, how does that not get totally exhausting, man? It's just so insane. Finally, this Bruins fan base has unified on something. We love that James Hagens was the pick. By no means should he have fallen to the Bruins. And a year from now, 6 other teams are going to be kicking themselves saying, man, we could have drafted Hagens. Maybe even the Islanders were saying, well, maybe we should have just taken the risk and picked him number 1, the hometown kid. Except Mike Felger, man. Except Mike Felger, because he doesn't even like the comps. Okay? Because James Hagens is getting some big-time comps. But Felger, no, he doesn't want him compared to this player.
So this is without really predicting what he's going to be. I don't know what he's going to be. I hate the pick. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the local thing. I hate the comp to Jack Hughes. I hate that, was he the 4th or 5th center off the board? And I know I said just sit there and pick the highest remaining center on the board. But now that it's the BC kid, I'm like, I said the highest remaining center other than him.
Yeah, I would hate it. I would really hate it if James Hagens turned out to be Jack Hughes. That would really suck for the Bruins. A team completely devoid of offensive talent outside of David Pastrnak. Boy, wouldn't it suck if they got Jack Hughes. Wouldn't it suck if they got a 99-point guy? A guy who scored 70 points in 62 games last year. You know, boy, that would really suck if the Bruins got him. Like, it's just nasty work, man. It really, really is. You would hate to get an all-star center. The Bruins have been desperate for a center the last couple of seasons and knew the clock was ticking in the last couple of years, Patrice Bergeron. And Mike Felger would hate it if they got Jack Hughes for free. It's just like, turn off your radios, man. They just have no idea what they're talking about. And I know I've taken the bait here. I have. I've done exactly what they wanted me to do, and I've freaked out about it. Like, Mike Felger goes home every night without a fucking second thought in the world, right? They want us to do this, but I am going to bite into the apple here because it's so insane. Like, if you're thinking up these kinds of reasons for why you don't want James Hagens, you need something better to do. Talk football all day long, man. Like, you don't follow the sport, and that's okay. That's okay. We don't need you to talk about it. Truly, after this shit, saying you wouldn't take Jack Hughes for free, I don't know. Like, what else is there to say? If the Bruins picked number 1 and the best player was at BU, he would say, no, don't take him because he plays down the street. It's fascinating to me. It really is. No, let's stop. Let's not take players from the best conference in college hockey. Yeah, I can't wait to see an NFL team try that. Saying, you know what? We've had enough of the SEC guys. Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Florida. What the fuck have they ever produced? Golly, man. Is this not the worst take of the summer so far? I've seen some very few Bruins fans not love this pick. And they'll say, oh, you know, I wanted Porter Martone. Porter Martone wasn't there. Okay? He wasn't. I would have taken Brady Martin. Brady Martin wasn't as good, isn't going to be as good as James Hagens. And guess what? He wasn't fucking there. I would have loved Kyle Denwye. He wasn't there. You got the number 1 pick a couple months ago at number 7. Don't overthink this. Every other sport, we would need a new pair of underwear if that happened. But in hockey, no, he's too local. He's from Long Island, and he played at BC. Plays at BC. Huh. Yeah, the last time you drafted a kid from Long Island who played at a beanpot school in Boston, that really didn't work out, man. Charlie McAvoy, real stiff. What a waste of a pick that was. Your best pick in a decade. I know, I shouldn't have got fired up about it, but I did. Let me know what you think about the James Hagens pick and what you think about this ridiculous Felger take in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Guys, this channel has been buzzing the last week or two with a ton of hockey talk. We're bringing you even more of it all summer long. So get in there, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you every weekday, high noon Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. Segments go out on YouTube after we're done. So check them out now. Check out all the segments talking Bruins and everything else Boston sports on the YouTube channel. I'm your host, Cam Stuart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air 5 days a week.